Hello and welcome to another Friday podcast, and in this podcast we discuss when a fish finger signed for Stoke City. We revisit Chris's stylist opportunity and Kanye West features. Join in. Hello and welcome to our pretty new Friday podcast of that Peter Crouch podcast. I'm with Chris Stark and the notorious SID. Last week, bit of a struggle for you, Chris, I noticed.
Yep. So this is the sort of bonus podcast we do on a Friday ahead of the weekend, and we do some predictions for games. And we, in case you're new to it, should explain, because it's fairly new, this Friday pod. You get points if you get the correct score. We choose 3 games. Points if you get 3 points if you get the correct score. You get a point if you just get the right result. You know, win, lose, draw, and obviously nothing if you get none of it right.
Which you did.
I got nothing.
Yeah, you got none of it right. Yeah, noticed that.
Which is a new low for me.
Yeah. Another correct score for you, Sid?
Another one in the bank.
How are you doing it?
I mean, City 3-0. I fancied it. The week before it was a Desmond, but it was 2-2. I'm pulling them out of the bag. And
you know what pissed me off about last weekend was the fact that you've gone your way ahead, and you've done 3-0 City, which for me was a bit, if I'm honest, a bit tacky. And I went, wow. I think like 2-0 United or 2-1 United, because I thought it's been a big week for the club, you know, for some very sad reasons. Emotions will run high. And I switched, didn't I? I went everyone thought
switch.
That you go from City to United. And it's just, I thought I'll stick with United, you know, because they're a team that has had some mad results in the past on huge emotions. And
I don't think they're where they want to be at the moment, no. I mean, I went 3-1 City, and I was just praying that they would score. But his fella's on fire, isn't he?
How are you doing it then? What's going on?
It's just a bit of tactical. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is with you? There's a heart and a head ruling, isn't there, with you? You need to
too emotional.
You need to shift that.
You know what it is?
You've said this to me before.
We've played. We've played. We've had to keep our emotions in check. Yeah. I think as a fan and being a fan, kind of your whole life, you're emotional. You take the game. It's like it's heart over head.
I think what it is I
leave that at the door.
I think what I would do if I was wearing the shirt in that week. Do you know what I mean? And I would give it.
Well, Man U could sign 11 of you. And you'd do better than what they had.
Do you reckon? It's a funny one, because you're right. I do get too emotional, and I do think that every time I go see Watford, every game I go, I still believe that we'll go up this season via the playoffs. It's a crazy league.
I love it.
Do you know how many times when you watch football in the Championship, you have to go, thing is about this league, you can go from bottom to top in 2 games, or variations of that.
Yeah,
constantly.
Let's not go into the Championship, but it is tight, isn't it? I see that league the other day. The top half of that table is like 3 points from 3rd to 10th,
especially, I mean, because there's such a tangible thing to be won at the end of it. You know, it's not just trophies, it's promotion. And I think the idea of, you know, that you can be 6th and still go up is incredible, really, isn't it? But it makes it exciting.
Certainly does. But my issue with your being bottom is there is a big forfeit on the cards here. And obviously Paddy Power now involved. And I've actually had an update on the Paddy Power forfeit. I've had an interesting letter in. We mentioned, I thought he's called the Minister of Mayhem, but he's actually signed this one off as the Minister of Mischief. And he said, "Hi, Crouchy, Chris, and Notorious SID. It's been brought to my attention that you referenced me on the most recent pod. It appears my reputation precedes me. Firstly, well, I do like to create mayhem. My official title for tax purposes is the Minister of Mischief. I usually like to keep a low profile, but I couldn't resist lending a hand. Where mischief goes, I follow. I've been closely following the suggestions by your listeners and will continue to do so. Some ideas are great, others just lack the mischief factor. So keep them coming in. Let me make this clear. I'm committed to making this forfeit our most mischievous ever. I'll be in touch. Minister of Mischief. P.S. My powers of mischief are unmatched, with the ability to make any Carl disappear or any pudding massive."
My thing is, right, by Chris, I think Christmas is a bit soon to be doing such a major forfeit. I'm just floating.
Whoa,
Never too soon.
No.
Right at the start of this, we said Christmas and end of
Yeah,
season.
but I don't think that's realistic. I think we all set off in this, and we've been feeling out the way this new Friday podcast goes. And my proposition would be, and I'm not just saying it because of the points thing. I'm saying that would it not be better to go bigger at the end of the season? So you almost double quits it. Like, is it really the right idea to be going, we'll go massive at Christmas and then pressure on us to have to follow up in the summer?
Well, the thing is, at Christmas, this is going to be a big one, and then it stops. So we go back to 0, and then we go again.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Like,
No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of the size of the forfeit,
Yeah,
I wonder, does it seem illogical to do it? You don't crown the Premier League winner halfway through a season, do you?
I can see this just being like huge, and then the one at the end of the season being fucking humongous.
Yeah, I think, well, what I was going to say is, why don't we just take a snapshot of the score at, say, Christmas and, pay for a bar bill or something like that. And then at the end of the season, that's where we do the major forfeit that we're talking about in the emails.
Absolutely not.
No, there's no chance.
At least we've tried. I told my wife I've tried.
Absolutely not. Unfortunately, Chris, we're not going to go down that route at all.
Right.
We're going to make it fucking humongous.
Should we just sort of get the league table involved to show obviously why Starkey's obviously mentioning this, because
this could bite me on the arse because I'm still catchable.
this is why obviously Chris is.
For those of you who can't see that, it's Chris is on 8 points. I'm on 14, and Notorious is on 24. So
Sid's is clear.
I mean, he's very clear.
I'm clear of Starkey, but
I'm 2 correct scores in front of you.
That's all it is. But again, you say that he's not got a correct score yet.
No, and I'm not even in double figures. The gulf is widening, and that concerns me. It's fine if I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to do the forfeit if it comes to Christmas.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Perfect.
Is it not better to double down at the end of the season? But that's been voted down clearly.
No, it's a lovely thought.
Thank you.
But no, we're not going to go with that one.
Should we look ahead to this weekend's football? Oh, before we get to that, just before we get to the scores, Jude Bellingham, we need to have a very quick discussion, right? Smashing it, Real Madrid, scoring every week. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Same stuff that everyone's saying. However, on his Instagram story, he put up a story and a few people tagged us in it, and it said back stronger on the Instagram. Now, this happens, and that's kind of where the back stronger thing started. Was you noticed it with a lot of footballers, but it has become a language that is used commonly throughout the years, and obviously this podcast has really pushed it through. My question to you, Crouchy, is didn't he mention you on an Instagram 2 weeks before that as well?
Yeah, he has, yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. Is Jude Bellingham maybe listening to the pod?
A secret fan on the pod?
Or been in touch with you, and we should really invite him to the podcast should he wish to be on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'd be happy with that. And Joslu, we know Joslu, don't we? Joslu played with us at Stoke.
Yeah.
He's gone on to play with Jude at Real Madrid. But yeah, if you are a listener, obviously you're welcome to come on the podcast. And if you're not a listener, stop parching me.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's actually there is a question there, isn't there, Sid?
Oh my God!
Is Jude Bellingham parching Crouchy?
I think what a better
Put it
way.
out there, it might be.
What a better way to be in Madrid, playing the best football of your life, learning Spanish, and listening to the Peter Crouch podcast.
He looks.
What
do you
a
know
life!
what?
What a life!
It doesn't get better than that, does
Backs
it?
out, he looks good in a Real Madrid shirt, doesn't
does,
he?
doesn't
he?
Do you
He
know,
looks
you know where some
unbelievable.
plays?
All white kit.
How do you think you would have looked, Crouchy?
Slightly awkward, maybe.
You've done an all white kit at Spurs.
Yeah.
You do feel the nuts. You do.
The Real Madrid shirt.
Well, I just mean any white kit. I mean, you do feel.
Do you know what I would like to see? You've just given me an idea. I'd like to see you in different full kits and just see how they look on you. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see you in different full kits just to see how they look on you.
Well,
do you know what I mean? So
I mean,
because then you can imagine Steve said, well, it's like you can do it on FIFA, right?
Yeah,
but it's animated. It doesn't look quite right. It'd be fascinating to see.
As long as it's not orange, because obviously I would look like a fish finger.
Yeah. Luton wouldn't have worked for you.
Paddy Powell actually tweeted. They did years ago. I remember I was at Fulham and we had an orange away kit, and I'm gonna have to dig this one out. It was 2000.
They stitched you.
They fish fingered me off.
No, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Outrageous.
I reckon it was
yeah.
the Minister of Mischief.
Mate, he's slippery. He comes up with these ideas, emails me them. I'm like, oh my God, this is outrageous.
What kit do you think, off the top of your head now, if you could put your head on that mannequin, would you go, that was it, that's the one?
Well, if I was going Watford, I'd go Lecoq Sportif. I think it must be like 94, 95.
Yeah.
The yellow, phones
Okay.
for you on the front.
Yeah.
Collar, slightly bigger, baggier. Because I'm not going to look great in one of the skin tights, that you boys
The old Kappas.
could wear. Yeah.
Kappa tight.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no, he's got it up.
what have we got?
Oh, what have you got? What's he found? George,
Outrageous, that, isn't it?
what does it say?
It's literally a fish finger.
What's the date of this? Look
Steve
at that.
Sidwell delighted with his move to Stoke City.
2014.
That's outrageous.
Oh, it's no need.
outrageous, mate. That's
No
outrageous.
need.
Get them.
What kit? If I
Any
was,
kit. Any kit.
Okay, if I was in prime fitness, and do you mean now, or do you mean any kit ever?
No, just like like any kit. You could go any league in the world. What
Historic. What I
Yeah,
mean though is
anything.
historically or now.
Anything.
The kit that I think I would look amazing in
Yeah.
is the Newcastle United with the brown ale
Oh,
circle
yeah.
in the middle. Again, slightly baggy.
I can see why you've done
small
that.
fit.
I know why he's done that.
Why?
What was that?
Previous stripes this way.
Yeah. Oh, really? Taller.
I look.
I knew it. I knew it.
do look
No,
better in vertical
dude.
stripes.
Shit, that's
There we
why.
go.
That's why I want to play in hoops.
Wait, tell Sids what you were saying to me before the podcast as well. About what
well-
you'd like for me.
Well, I'd like to get him a stylist. What do you think? We discussed this on the last pod,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
He wants to look his best. Can we? If you are a stylist and you listen to this podcast, we'd like to get you potentially involved to style Chris. I mean,
Well, if you know a stylist, you
is
don't have to like football. You don't have to like this podcast.
no, at all. No, but if you hear this, we need a style. Chris would like a stylist.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at the moment it's probably fair to say that we're polishing a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I think the thing is, with this sort of thing, no, we're not polishing anything. We need someone
We're
to
not
come and
polished.
polish
That's what
it.
we're saying. It's not just a turd.
Yeah, it's just we're entertaining a turd.
We're entertaining a turd at the minute.
And
we
what
haven't polished anything yet.
we want to
Sam.
roll that turd in glitter. And I'm honest about that. I'm honestly, I think you're bang on with that. Whereas it's funny because with Sids, I think, as I always say, I think you've got the raw ingredients, haven't you? You've got the secret sauce.
The je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, you are such a good-looking guy, but for some reason or another, you haven't just quite got that. It's like the clothes don't quite do you justice. I'm the opposite problem.
He's
I'm
trying
not,
to get
I'm
a
not a
nibble from
great
me.
looking. I'm not a great looking. Steve's a fantastic looking chap,
True. Don't
isn't
put
he?
yourself down,
But he
Chris.
just doesn't
listen,
doesn't
yeah, come on,
quite
you're
get
good.
the.
Put yourself
You're
down
a solid
like that.
6.
No, I know, but styling could disguise a lot with me. Whereas I think you just need enhancing. Do you see what I mean?
Anyway, listen, if you're if you're a stylist, get in touch. We'd love you to style. Perhaps both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm leaving myself.
I think it's
out.
like a
Why don't we
training-
just all get styled, right?
It's like a Trini and Susanna thing, and like
Or
one-
maybe Gok Kwan or someone.
Something.
You
Gok
get
Kwan would be
involved. And
wonderful.
Gok get
I
involved.
think you're right. Maybe if we get someone involved, then just week and week, and people might be interested in the clothes that we wear. You never know, and it might lead to further opportunities.
Further opportunities, yeah. And talking of style, actually, Kanye West, did you see him at the boxing the other day? He had a Premier League shirt underneath, and no one can really get to the bottom of what it is.
Well, is it? It's the old school Premier League logo, isn't it?
It's like an old Wolves away.
It
or
looks
something
like it looks like a goalkeeper's jersey.
keepers.
I don't know. The sleeves. Is this a bit of marketing genius?
Well, I just think he's probably you know what he's like with his fashion and whatever and this and that. I think he likes to cause a stir. This is causing a stir amongst the footballing world. It's asking questions, and that's I think what you got to do in fashion. You know what I mean?
Hey,
You got to ask a question.
On the fashion thing, what are you wearing for Crouch Fest tomorrow?
I can't reveal that yet.
It's something special for us.
Yeah,
Have you got an outfit? You've planned an outfit, haven't you?
I have.
You've planned an outfit.
I've
Have
got-
you planned an outfit?
No, I haven't.
I
No.
haven't planned an outfit.
But I've had a stylist in. No, I have planned it. I've got something that's bespoke. Let's put it that way.
What does that mean? Okay.
A one-off
great.
piece.
It's a one-off.
Great.
Wow. Great.
We'll say no more.
All right. We'll look forward to that. Should we get into the games?
Yeah, let's get into the business of this.
Right, straight into it with the first fixture. It's Newcastle versus Arsenal. This is the part supported by Paddy Power. It's the big weekend fixture. How are we seeing it?
Kai, this is big. This is a big game, huh?
This is a massive game. I don't know where to go for this one. It's like two teams banging form.
It's a big statement, this, because you got Arsenal going for the title, and they certainly are, and you got Newcastle, who I think are just short of the title, but they're still going for that top four, breaking into, are they title challengers?
And at home.
And they're at home, which is a fortress at the minute. They're doing really well. Mm-hmm. Big game, and when Newcastle fans are with them, it's like another third. Like we've been to St James's Park. It's
no,
tough.
I love it.
What was it like playing there?
I actually like to see them do well. I do, you know, because it's like when they were doing badly for so long, weren't they? And it was quite hard, I think, for the players to play there because it's a bit of a cauldron. You know, they were kind of getting on their back, and so now seeing them play well, it just makes football better. I think when St James's Park's rocking, it feels like.
But playing in that ground, what's it like? Because I'm amazed, even as an away fan, when you go there and you have to walk miles to the top.
How big it is,
and that bar right at the top there, and you sort of get a view out the back window, and you're high up, but it's one of those grounds that you just feel as a football fan. It's such a privilege to be there.
It was my nemesis.
Was it?
I never won there.
Oh, really?
Never won. Lost and drew.
Is it
never
slopey?
got a result. Is it slopey?
Like,
Not
but I mean, like, how is it like mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a big slope there.
Yeah.
I loved playing at St James. I had great success there. Scored there a few times, various different clubs, won there quite a lot. I had a lot of success there, but I loved playing. It's one of those clubs where I kind of like almost wanted to play there. You know, like I wanted to be. Imagine having a number 9 at Newcastle. You know what I mean? It's like if you'd done well and scored there, they just love you, don't
Fans
they?
back you.
Yeah, we speak to Jermaine Genius and the Kieran Dyer players that I know, Titus Bramble, like players who've been up there. Shola Miobi, even obviously when I was coming through, like speak to all the lads. They just love playing up there, like, and even there it was probably a difficult time. Imagine being up there now when they're in the Champions League.
Mate. The pubs around the ground, and it's like all around that ground. The fact you go straight into a pub. I remember walking through with the Watford fans, and it's like you're surrounded on both sides by those pubs as you walk through. Friendliest, I mean, from a Watford fan's point of view, anyway. You know, quite a placid club, but such a friendly place and such a good night out.
Yeah.
It's great night out.
It is superb.
You pass that statue of Shearer. I always think that's so cool. You know?
It's just like, I think the whole thing is like, it's iconic for me. A stadium in the middle of the city town, like it's unheard of.
It's true. It's one of those on a Saturday where it's not. You're right. There's something very special about a city going to everything's like jobs. Obviously, people are still doing their jobs in that time, but you know what I mean. It's like the focus when the game is on of a city goes towards that stadium, and it's like a castle on the hill. It's amazing.
Isn't that Ed Sheeran song?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It was my attempt at being deep.
Right.
Just quote Ed Sheeran. What we think about
Come
scores?
in, let's go to the scores.
You've been in radio too long, son.
You're bottom of the pile, Chris. What are you going for?
Okay. Do you know this whole pep talk you give me about head and heart, right? I just think Newcastle are going to win this.
Ooh.
And I think it should be an exciting game. It should be goals from both teams, I'm feeling. But I think they're going to get this. And I think it's a massive game for both teams. So I'm going to go Newcastle 2, Arsenal 1.
Ooh.
I mean, look, I've got nothing to base it on, really, have I? But that's what I'm going
that's
for.
big. Well, both teams to score is 6-10.
Yeah, I mean, I was tempted by a draw. What have you gone, Sids?
I have actually gone for a draw.
Have you?
And I actually think it's the hardest one to predict. A draw. I mean, I don't mean this game. A draw in general. You always think about a team winning, don't we?
That's true.
I'm going to go. I think this is going to be a really good game, but I'm going to go for 1-1 draw.
Wow.
Entertaining 1-1 draw. I love that. But two big teams at it. Just don't see one of them getting the best out of the other. So 1-1 for me.
Right, so I've wrote down 2-1. Same as you. 2-1 to Newcastle.
2-1.
So none of us have gone for an Arsenal win, which is surprising considering they're offline as well.
Yeah.
But I went for 2-1 as well. But I feel like I should change that now because you went 2-1.
No? Why?
Well, because you've done it, so it won't happen.
Well, I don't think I'm looking at the information in front of me here.
Hey,
and
that is enough to change it.
It's there's goals in this game. It looks like. So basically, Paddy Power saying over 1.5 goals is 1 to 5 currently.
Yeah.
£10 gets you like £12 back. So it's looking likely there's going to be more
Oh,
goals.
okay, yeah. Well, that's why I went for it. And I still maintain I think that might happen. But the only thing that's put me off is you think that might happen.
Okay. Well, what would you like to switch it to?
Well, I've gone 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle. Arsenal don't get one. Which just goes against it, really, because I think Arsenal obviously have the potential to score. Eddie Nketiah was brilliant last week.
Yeah,
He was brilliant.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Newcastle 2-0. I should just say, if you do get involved in that game, the odds are correct at time of recording. Please gamble responsibly.
Should we do the next game?
Yes.
Okay, Spurs v Chelsea.
Oh.
It's a bit of a
This is
derby
big.
for you two, actually.
Well, I suppose it is, yeah.
Clash of the 2 number 9s.
2 number 9.
Yeah. I hope when they show it, I don't know if it's televised, but I hope what they do is, when they have a graphic and it's they pick a player from each team and it's like against each other. It's you two to represent this.
Think of all the players that Spurs
Goliath
and
of a
Chelsea have
game.
had over the years, and they picked me and Sidwell.
You had more chance of being on it.
We had El Podingo last week, didn't they? We didn't actually give Fulham a chance, did we? But
They come back.
they came good,
They come back, yeah. Brighton should have, all accounts, should have won that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Podingo was that's why you sit on the fence sometimes and you call a draw.
That's right, mate.
So are you going to both back the relevant teams?
I am strong. I was at Chelsea last week, Brentford, and they were poor. They were decent
first half. Yes.
Yeah, I thought Cole Palmer was really impressive.
Yeah.
I actually really like Cole Palmer as a player, but I thought the rest. Raheem Sterling was, a bit of a cutting edge, but they're short in a lot of areas, I think, and it was disappointing. And Brentford deserved to win in the end. I mean, they didn't play great, Brentford, first half. Chelsea were a much better team, but they soaked it up. And they just hit them on the break, got the goals when they needed them. So I'm strong for Spurs here.
Are you?
I am. I'm 3-0 Spurs. I'm going.
Oh, 3-0. No, 3-0.
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. What worries me, Chelsea striker. I think with them, they look like they're getting better, and then it's 2 steps back, isn't it?
Producer George is nappy with me. Look,
Like,
he's going to Chelsea tonight as well.
He's just
Silly bastard.
He's just stuck his fingers up again. I can't believe it.
What are you saying, Sids? Back in Chelsea.
I'm actually going to back Spurs.
What?
I'm going to back Spurs. I don't see Chelsea winning it.
I can hear the crowd booing already.
Yeah. Chelsea reject, they're shouting. I'm going to go Spurs 2-0.
Yeah.
I think Spurs at home.
Do you know
What a start
why?
they've
I
had.
don't understand this. You're so far ahead on the points. Why are you risking your reputation for the sake of possibly getting a couple more points that you probably don't need?
He's a winner.
So what do you mean to
Chris,
say? Chelsea 6-0?
Listen, I'm not advising you here.
Yeah,
I'm just
listen,
saying I'm
like,
surprised.
you-
I can
take your eye off
I
the
can
ball.
afford to sit this one out.
Yeah, I know you could, which is why I find it odd that as a person who's played for Chelsea, that you go for the other team. But this is the head and heart thing.
No, but I'm a
isn't it?
Chelsea fan
Yeah.
as well, and it pains me to say it.
So you'd like
because
Chelsea
we are-
to win, but you don't think they
Even
will.
the
I don't
most
think so.
staunch Chelsea fan is saying that they're not playing well at the moment, and Spurs are top of the league.
Yeah.
and it's the best start to a Premier League ever.
Would you say that,
Ever.
George?
Yeah.
1-1.
1-1.
Oh,
Draw.
Yeah, so he's hopeful in his.
No, I'm going to get battered for this. But I'm going to say I think Spurs win this 2-0.
Okay.
It's an honest podcast, Chris. You know what I mean? We don't. Like, you've gone with your heart.
Sorry, mate.
You've gone with your heart, haven't you?
No, I'm quite excited because actually, if you look here, Crouchy, I've gone 2-0 Spurs.
Yeah, for 2-0 Spurs.
Which same as Sid's.
All right. So you two versus me. Let's get into Burnley Palace.
So, where to start with this?
I have to say, I felt for Burnley last week. Obviously, losing 2-1, it was like the VAR decisions just didn't go their way. They were strange. They didn't review one incident. and I kind of feel for them. They're playing well, but they're just not getting results. And this is why I think Palace will get the job done. Obviously, they lost to Spurs, didn't they? Was that the Friday night game?
Yes.
It was the Friday night game when I watched it.
Yep.
And Spurs were, very far ahead of the moment. It was. I think the scoreline flattered them really in the end. It wasn't a great performance from Palace, but I think they've got enough in this game. I think Palace 1-0.
Palace haven't beaten Burnley in their last 5 games. Are you still going to go for Palace?
I am, yeah.
All right. Is there to be broken?
What are you saying, Sis?
I'm going to go the reverse. I'm going to go Burnley 1-0 against Palace. I don't see many goals in this. Palace don't ship many goals in. Burnley, they score, but I think this is going to be a tight affair. I don't think it's going to be a classic.
No.
So I'm going to go Burnley 1-0, which is going to be a big result.
Happy to be proven wrong on that, though, aren't we? We should say. Would be great if it's a classic. I've gone 1-0.
All different. That's good.
All different.
Oh, so if it's a draw, you get a point.
If it's 1-1, I get 3 points. So
it won't be 1-0.
What do you mean?
Well, you predicted this 1-0, so it won't be 1-0.
Get a lot of heat here, Chris.
I think this Friday has been a bit...
Yeah, a bit too much now. Yeah, it's a bit much. Do you want us to rein that back in a bit?
Was that a nibble?
He just looks upset, doesn't he? You're actually upset.
I just don't know how you want me to react to it.
I think if you're bottom of the league, you get a bit of
pelters, do you?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I remember that.
You look like you're going to cry. Are you all right?
Should I cry? That'd be a first, wouldn't it? That'd make it a bit more Diary of a CEO, wouldn't it? Boys, before we go, Crouch Fest tomorrow.
Oh,
really looking forward to it.
I cannot wait. I'm not even joking.
Since his debut.
I cannot wait.
No, it was the best day of the year last year. It genuinely was. It was my favourite day of the year.
Listen, I've been to the last 2. I've been in the stands. I've been supporting the pod, and I loved it. And now
you're going to get a great reaction, mate. And there'll be loads of people listening to this right now, excited about coming tomorrow. And if you're not, don't stress. We're going to have a very special Crouch Fest podcast, which comes out very, very soon. And obviously, there's going to be loads of stuff on social, clips, all that kind of thing. And also, very exciting news this. We've only just found this out. Paddy Power are going to be streaming the whole thing live on their social.
Stream Crouch Fest live.
Which feels like a Chumbawamba in itself.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff.
I mean, big from them, I guess. New territory for us.
Very much so.
We'll be box office
do not
next year.
Swear.
Is there a dump button there?
Let's hope so.
Well, look, we've only just found that out anyway. So spread word about that. If you can't be there and you want to keep up with it, it's going to be on there.
Great. Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba, everyone.
Into massive.